So this is part 3 of the 2005 Toyota Sienna with the 3MZ FE motor and the result of a broken timing belt. You can see down inside of each of these cylinders now. You can see where each of those intake valves made contact with the piston in those relief cuts, probably just the carbon, but enough carbon buildup that they made contact, and that was enough to bend the valves. I did do a leak down test. Granted, it was cold when I did the leak down test, so it's not going to be as accurate as a warm, but you can't with the timing belt off. But that was indicating to me that each of the valves were bent when I was at 35% leakage. Now, you could have just thrown a timing belt on here and it would have ran like crap, but it would have run at that point. It would have been terrible gas mileage and terrible power. So here you can see one of the intake valves. You can see the impact mark where it bent that valve ever so slightly. So here's the cylinder head off. I've got a little bit of cleanup still to do. I did lap each of these exhaust valves. I didn't think any of these need to be replaced, but I'll confirm that as I'm doing a vacuum test on each of these cylinders. These are factory new on all the intakes from Toyota. Those are only 12 bucks a piece. These, if you get new, for some reason they're $27 a piece. And now you can kind of see though why these are going to bend quicker, just because you've got more leverage where they're making those contacts with the piston seat. These probably don't make as much contact, don't have as much leverage, so you're most likely going to be good. Now, if I do need to, if my vacuum test comes back where I'm leaking too much air when I do a vacuum test, it's not a big deal. I can lap these a little more. I didn't want to get crazy with these right now, just because hopefully all these biscuits will still work. These are all the same dimension right now. I popped a few off and measured them. They're the same dimension, but you can get new biscuits on top. These are just the valve buckets, but the biscuit on top, it comes in different dimensions. So when you're checking your valve lash, once you get your cams back in, you can check between your cam lobes and your buckets. And so if you do end up having to lap these and you lap too much, you'll just have to get a smaller or a thinner biscuit for on top of that. Now, everything is pretty affordable from Toyota if you buy stuff online. I learned that a little late, but if you buy parts online from Toyota, you generally get a discount. I did get a complete engine rebuild kit for 537 bucks. It came with all the head gaskets, any seals that you need, any valve seals. It comes with the fuel injector seals. So it's a pretty good value. And I do have another motor, so anything left over, I'll just use on the other 3MZ that I've got. But we'll do the vacuum test next, and then if we have to do a little more lapping, we'll do that, and then we'll go from there. Have the back cylinder yet to do. So we'll get to that point.